Welcome to my channel, Maurer Woodworking. I had a customer reach out to me to build a custom display unit. Customer went online, tried to find something that would fit in the area where he wants to put it, and couldn't find anything. Obviously reached out to me. We came up with 3 different designs, obviously settled on one. The dimensions of this unit is going to be 7 feet 6 inches high. The total of 6 shelves, the 4 towards the bottom, it's going to be 4 feet wide, 30 inches deep, and then there's the 2 more shelves on top. Those are going to be also 4 feet wide, but only 20 inches deep. We decided to go with red oak, and the customer wanted to stain it a darker brown, and then I'll be coating it with a couple coats of like a urethane to protect the shelves. I'm going to be going through the entire build process, recording it, and you'll see each of the steps from the start when I actually purchase the raw wood and all the way to the end, and also delivering the unit on site. So I'm excited to start this project, so let's begin. Okay, got the lumber, most of it. Still got another order from Pulaski. They're going to deliver it probably in a week or two. But this is the start of the project. It's been sitting in my basement for 3 weeks. I generally let it get acclimated in my shop for at least 3, sometimes 4 weeks before I do anything to the wood. So what I'll show in the next video is how this raw material, the wood, actually gets processed through a joiner and a planer to square everything up really nice, so you can then start the building process. Okay, what I have here are just 2 pieces of the red oak. This is how it comes from the mill. It's rough cut. Hopefully you can see it. It's rough on the edges and along here, and what we have to do is prep the wood before we actually start the building process. So this is an example of a piece that actually ran through my planer, which is very smooth, and then to get a nice 90-degree angle smooth edge, I run it through my joiner. So I have to do this for all that wood that was out there that you saw earlier in the video in preparation for the build. So that's what we're going to be doing for probably a couple hours, unfortunately, but that's part of the process. What you're seeing here is how I feed all those pieces of wood through the planer. The next step after this is then to run it through the joiner. So what I'm doing here is I'm using my joiner to square up the edges, so all those pieces that went through the planer need to run through the joiner to get a perfectly square edge. So now I'm cutting up the individual components, and I'll be grouping them together for there'll be 6 separate sets. So here I'm basically taping everything up so I know which set goes with what. All right, these are going to be all the shelves. I broke it down into 6 sets. Each set represents a shelf. We got 4 of them that could be 30 inches wide, and the 2 upper ones are going to be 20 inches wide. So I try to match the grain patterns the best I could for each of the shelves. And so the next step is to use my domino joiner and put probably 4 dominoes in there, glue it, tie it together, put in clamps, and I'll probably be doing 3 sets at a time. That's all the clamps that I have. And then once that dries, then we'll proceed on to the sanding process. And then on the next step is probably after that, build the main support rails for the display case. So this is where the dominoes will fit in. So the machine that you saw that I was using creates the hole, and then you use dominoes to tie the board together. And what you're seeing right here is actually I'm inserting the dominoes into the side edges of the shelving unit, and this is how I get the 20 inches and also the 30-inch wide shelves. Tying that up, securing it, and just let it dry.
No longer sound resilient or
So what I'm working on here is one of the shelves. I'm cutting the exact dimensions that I need. So this particular one is 30 inches by 48 inches. So I'm going to have 4 of these, and then the other 2 shelves are 20 inches by 48 inches. All right, this is one of the shelves, the bottom shelf, and instead of having the end grains exposed like this, because you got this one right here actually got 3 boards glued together, so you want to have a nice finish. At least I do. So what I'll be doing is I cut the red oak. I got strips for each side, so one on this side and one on the other side, with the 2.5 inches on each side, plus the width of this will give me the 4 feet. But this way, this will give you a nice edge. All right. I had to move things around in the shop in order to feed through this stock of wood. These are basically the rails that are going to hold up the shelves for the display unit. This is about 9 feet long. I don't need 9 feet. I need 7 feet 6 inches. The next step of the process is to glue together 2 of the pieces because I want to get the right thickness. This is too thin for the amount of weight to support the display unit that I got outside of the other room there. But anyway, so I'm going to rip through the rest of these and then do the glue up process. All right, what you're looking at here is, with all these clamps, is I had to glue up 2 pieces of the red oak. These are going to be the support rails that hold up the shelf. So I'm going to take these off, run all 4 through the joiner. I got the 4th one out there, and then set that aside, and then just continue with the sanding of the shelves. I go through multiple grits on that. All right, we're moving along quite well now. So these are the 4 posts that will be supporting the entire shelf. 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and I got 6 sets of these right here. This is for each of the shelves. So basically what I'm doing is I took all the support rails. This is basically where the shelf will sit on. Let me just use this piece of wood here. And the shelf would sit on top of here. But anyway, so we need to be able to tie the support rails into the main columns. So I need to glue them together. And the best way to glue them together is to create a mortise and tenon. And so what I end up doing is I removed about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then what I'll do in the columns, I'll uh, cut out a section roughly this size, or exactly that size. So when we glue it up, it fits inside of there, let it dry, and that'll provide a solid structure for the display unit. So now I'm going to run through all the pieces of wood. I want to give it at least 1/8 of an inch round over, so you don't get any slivers or anything if you rub against the display unit. So like I said, for each of the pieces we'll run it through on all 4 sides, and then start the sanding process for all these pieces. All right, I got everything all set to go. Probably do this tomorrow. It's too late now. I got everything marked where I need to basically create my mortises, basically be drilling it out. I got a special machine, I'll show that tomorrow. So these inserts will go inside of there. What you do is you try to get most of it with it drilled out, and then you use a chisel and you get really smooth edges, and so it fits perfectly. You want a really nice tight fit in it. For the support columns, I want to trim off the tops to give it a nice edge to it. So all 4 corners I'm cutting off at about a 33-degree angle, and then I'll be sanding that afterwards. All right, I messed up bad. So the shelves down here is 30 inches wide. That's why you get the spacing here. These top shelves is the top of the display case. These are 20 inches. What I forgot to do is cut this off here, roughly about here. I'm gonna have this post stick up just a little, maybe an inch or 2 above the top shelf here, the 30-inch shelf. Bring this down and then shift it over, and it'll be resting over here. So in other words, it'll rest on over here. And then you go up to this area right here. So the post will go down here. Unfortunately, what I did is I already chiseled these out. They will fit perfectly on here because I know they're gonna fit. But unfortunately, I gotta shift it over. And so now these things are useless. So, and the other factor that I'm going to run into, I want to keep, this is what's facing the front. Of course, it's always in the front where I mess things up. So the grain pattern, I want to keep the same. So when you're looking at the display case, you'll see the grain pattern's the same when you're looking straight at it. So just to replace this piece it's got to match. So I think I got a way around it. What I got to do is cut this over here, cut off this section, about a third of it down, put another piece of red oak, glue that up, square it up, and then bring it down, shift it over, and then re-drill the holes again. Oh well, that's what happens, but the important thing is you find a solution for it. So after I had a moment to think about it, that's the solution for it. But anyways. All right, this is one of the sides. Obviously, I just wanted to do a dry fit to make sure everything fits together snug. I finished the sanding, sanded it down to a 180 grit, all the pieces, and now I'm going to glue it together, clamp it. I'll be putting this in a time lapse. You can see the process, how that's done. We're back on schedule and moving along well again after a little snafu we had with this piece here, but we got it dressed and we're gonna move along. All right, so what I got here is this is a temporary shelf, MDF I just cut out to represent what's actually going to go here. And what I wanted to show here is the shelves are right now resting on the two side rails here, the support rails. You probably see it better from over here. It's about an inch thick. But I also wanted to provide support all the way along the back. And so that's what this will, how this comes into place. So that'll be secure from the back. I'll explain how I'm going to secure that, but what I wanted to show here is that supporting the shelf is all around the two sides and all the way around the back. So, and plus the shelf is about a little more than 3/4 of an inch, almost an inch thick. So that'll prevent it from any possibility of it sagging over time. So we'll swing around the back and I'll show how I'm going to mark that up and how I'm actually going to secure that. Okay, I want to focus your attention is over here, this pencil mark here. So I already marked this. So basically this is the back support here. And the idea behind that is that this will snap in there. And then what I'll end up doing is screwing two screws on here. But what I wanted to do is not just leave this sticking out like this. I'm going to actually chisel this out or use a router and then use a chisel to clean it up so that this face right here is flush with that. And the reason for that is then this way that'll be a nice tight fit if I do it for all 6 of them. This will keep the unit from basically swaying back and forth, or racking it's called. All right, just want to do a quick video. So this is basically what I was saying earlier in the last video. So I use a router to get most of the wood out here and then use a chisel to completely square everything off. And this is the back support, so you can see how it actually fits in there. So I completed all of these for this side. This is the left side of the display case unit. And I'll do the other one tomorrow, the other side. All right, I got ready for staining. I did a final sanding on both sides along the edges, and then I cleaned off everything. We're going to apply the stain. I mixed them. I think we're ready to go, and I'll be definitely be filming that process on applying the stain. Alright, all set with the staining. So you can let it dry for a day. Alright, I applied the first layer of the polyurethane. It's a water and oil base, something new on the market, but it got some really great reviews, and I know someone else that actually used it and was very happy with the results. It's hard to tell. Obviously, this is all done here, but you can see a bit of a sheen. We went with the satin as opposed to doing a matted finish. I did bring a sample to the customer, showed them what a matted finish looked like and what the satin looked like. And I told them I did do a sample of a semi-gloss. It was just too shiny. It didn't look good, so he completely agreed. All right, we're coming to the home stretch here. As you can see, I got 3 of the shells over here. Got the darker stain, obviously, and then I did 3 coats of the urethane to satin. Looks very shiny. I think it's just a reflection of the lights from the shop. But anyways, there's 3 of them there. And what you see behind me, those are the back support rails. And as you can see, I temporarily got it supported up there. That's basically these support the 2 sides. That section's all glued. This makes this unit modular, obviously. I can take it upstairs and also bring it down to the client house. So the back support rails that you saw in the part of where my shop is, those are going to go, you can see the notches right about there, and they'll go across the other side here. But I really like the stain. Came out really nice. Customer picked out a really nice stain. You can actually see the grains here of the red oak. That's why we went with the red oak. So you can actually still see the grain patterns in there. It looks really nice. All right, so I'll get my wife and we'll do a dry run. Hopefully everything works, and then and I think next week we're scheduled for a delivery. All right, that's it. Fully assembled. My wife helped me. It was fairly easy. Lighting's terrible. This part of my basement. But anyways, so we can get up here close. You can see the grain. Stain is really nice. Like I said, we use red oak, and you can just see the grain is really nice. So let me swing around the back. Those sides, all mortise and tenon. This is going nowhere. If we go to the back, and let me just focus over here. So basically what I did is I be putting 2 screws in there. I got only one in there. I did that for each one of them for now, just to see how it ties together. And then once I get to the site, I'm going to take these off. I got to break this down, and then when I reassemble it, I'm going to put the other screw there. So 2 screws in there. So as you can see, that fits right in there, really nice. Same thing here. And all I got to do, if the customer ever has to move it after I assemble it, takes the 2 screws out on each side, pulls that out, and then is able to take the shelves out, and then the 2 sides are all glued together, so there'll be 2 separate units there. So very modular, and it'll make it easy for him to move if he ever wants to move it. So this is the back side. No one's going to ever see this. It's going against the wall, but you get the idea. Actually, here, you see the grain. It looks really nice. All right, that is it. We are at the customer site assembling the display unit. This is actually a surprise for the customer's wife. She doesn't know anything about it, and so it'll be interesting to see her reaction. I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous because you just never know sometimes how this may go. He's going to bring down his wife now to see it for the first time.
Oh my God, that is beautiful.
We listen to your husband.
I gave dimensions, so this is on me.
Oh my God, that is amazing. We can put so much Lego on there.
Well, it looks like she liked it. Her husband did a good job. It was a nice surprise for her. Well, you made it through the entire video. Thank you. If you can do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. And leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about the project and also on the video, so I can improve on the next one that I produce. Thank you so much.